Hello everybody, J.Yumeko here, and welcome back to the house in Fata Morgana. So I think last time we left off, we kind of had a bit of a climaxing point because it seems as though Nelly attacked the white-haired girl. I'm assuming scalped her and has either left her for dead or just killed her. So basically, Nelly's gone straight up fucking crazy. And we don't know the fate of the white-haired girl quite yet. Or where this is necessarily gonna take us. I did look into the game, and it seems as though, all in all, the game has, like... I've seen it span from, like, oh yeah, it has somewhere between 40 to 50 plus hours of gameplay. So, with that in mind, I'm kind of thinking that maybe I want to take my time a bit more with this game, and instead of trying to get multiple like 30-40 minutes minute videos out, trying to get like longer hour plus long videos out. So that's something I may try. I'll try and keep it on the upload schedule, but because it's all happening within the week, it's kind of hard to dedicate a whole hour and a half when I have so many other things to do. But without further ado, we're gonna jump right on back into it. An inescapable labyrinth.
Oh, dearest Mel, here you are again reading such hard books. Your eyes will go bad if you spend too long staring at pages.
I'll be fine, Nelly. It's not like I'm reading 24 hours a day.
No, that's not good enough. If your eyes go bad, dearest Mel, you won't be able to see me anymore.
You worry too much. I can see you fine and well, my princess. Your hair glimmering like the sun and your beautiful smile. I can see you clear as day, and that'll never change. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, God, the game audio is so loud. But yeah, I forgot to mention that we also found out that the white-haired girl is actually our stepsister. Yeah, she's our stepsister. Oh, I forget. There was something. Was there anything more to that? No, I don't think so. Anyways, but yeah, so white-haired girl is our stepsister. Plus, the skies are clear today, so you're even more radiant than usual.
You know this is my favourite season. Winter's cold and there's so much rain. I can't stand it. But as it gets closer to my birthday, the clouds go away. And I just adore the sun.
Ah, yes. It's almost your birthday, isn't it? Have you decided what you're going to ask Father for?
Not yet. I want pretty dolls and shoes with sparkling gems. And I also want a pretty dress like the one Mother has.
That's a long list. A list that long is asking a bit much, even for Father.
But dearest Mel. I already have what I want the most. So the truth is, as long as I have that, I don't need anything else.
Oh? And what would that be? The hairpin they bought for you the other day. Or maybe the song they had written for you last year.
None of that, dearest Mel. Huh.
Oh, that's me. Huh. Then what could it be? Now I'm really curious. What is it that's so valuable to you?
That's a secret.
Girls have so many secrets, I just don't know what to do. Is it just me or is the background changing ever so slightly? I don't know, maybe I'm just delusional.
Say, dearest Mel, would you run your fingers through my hair? Just for a little bit.
Oh. What's gotten into you, Nelly? Why are you so hungry for attention all of a sudden?
Please, dearest Mel.
Oh, Nelly, what am I going to do with you? Come over here.
And I want to sit on your lap.
Yes, yes, as you wish, my beautiful, beautiful little princess.
Say, dearest Mel.
What is it this time, Nellie?
Right now, I'm so incredibly happy. Uh-oh. Oh, and out of curiosity, who was it that you really cared so much about?
Oh, was that? I can't tell if that was supposed to be Nellie or if that was supposed to be the black-haired maid. Because usually when there's no, name, it's typically the black-haired maid.
In a fevered frenzy, Mel fled from the mansion. Even in clear early summer, the night was cold. And to make matters worse, raindrops pelted him from head to toe. But that caused him little discomfort, for a far greater maelstrom of pain rampaged within his breast. At night, the town took on a different appearance, not simply for lack of illumination, but the people active within it as well. It was not a suitable place for a young aristocratic man to go wandering unattended. The darkness is not only the abode of devils, but of beggars, thieves, criminals, and all manner of things undesirable. But despite that, he continued to run, knowing not where he was to head. He simply went where his feet took him, and where he arrived was the church.
Father! Father! God should be able to offer me counsel. To answer all my questions. About that painting, about her, and about Nellie's feelings. Not her lies, but the truth. Please, open the door. Open the door!
But as you might expect, the door was locked, and the priest showed no sign of responding to his calls. The sound of the pouring rain drowned out everything else. His head drooped feebly. He looked like a helpless little calf who had wandered alone onto a dark, precarious mountain path with no end in sight.
Why? Why won't anyone tell me the truth? All I want is for someone to tell me it's not true. Have I sinned? No, I didn't know anything. I didn't know. No, none of it's true. So I haven't done anything wrong. I'm not at fault, am I?
Nevertheless, his sister's claims, and her laughs, continued to echo within his head. If he truly believed it to be false, he would have gone to look at the painting. That he could not was an indication that uncertainty had a stronger grip on him. Fragmented images of a white-haired painter fluttered through the back of his mind, but he desperately shoved them aside.
What good is the church? What good is theology? What good is God?
Something moved near the boy. It stood immediately behind him and grasped his light dressing gown. He had been so consumed in his own world that he had not noticed the person's presence until they were close enough to touch him.
Who are you?
Standing there was a beggar dressed in tattered rags.
He's still begging at the church.
The hooded beggar tentatively extended his hand toward Mel, pleading for relief with sad, slender fingers. Were he a generous young man, Mel would have given the beggar something. Were he generous, of course.
Lord, get your filthy hands off me! I don't have a damn thing to give you right now. Don't you dare touch me!
Suddenly, the beggar's head turned upward.
My eyes catch the beggar's.
Her hood fell back, revealing a hairless head.
Why?
And a pair of red eyes gazing bitterly, though with a familiar distinctive glimmer, at Mel. Red eyes. She immediately covered her face and turned to run. It can't be. The beggar that's always been here was a... But you said yourself that they would not survive much longer. How could you be certain she was that same beggar?
Wait! Wait for me!
Perhaps with someone of such high social standing, all beggars appeared the same to you. Or perhaps you wanted to believe your meager generosity made a difference, that you did something of value. I will not say it is wrong to think so. Wait for me! I chase after the fleeing girl. Though I shout for her to stop, she continues to run. The rain is so heavy I'm afraid I might lose her. I'm terrified. But I didn't do anything wrong, did I? I'm begging you, please stop! I just want to talk! She comes to a stop at a corner. Please do not go around this corner. It's you, isn't it? I'm sorry. Why are you apologizing? What I said back there was terrible, and for that I am truly sorry. I didn't realize it was you. Please, come back to me. If you're concerned about social status, I'll figure something out. And Nellie's getting married off soon enough. Oh, yes, Nellie. Nellie did some horrible things to you. She's lost her mind. She was talking nonsense. But don't worry, she'll be out of the picture soon enough. I'll make sure you're safe. Say something, please. Are you angry? You're angry, aren't you? I'm not angry at you. I'm not. Did you know everything? Did you come to our house aware of everything? What? Did you? Tell me, please. The priest isn't around and everything that he says is a lie. You're the only one who will tell me if it's true. What are you? Our relationship. I don't understand what you're saying. I see. You don't know. You don't know. It's for the best. Nellie's the only one who knows, and she'll be gone before long. Everything will be alright. Lord Nell. It's all be alright. Let's go back. I'll make sure never to put you in danger again. I'm begging you. Stay with me. My appearance is no longer suitable to stand at your side. You saw how unsightly I am back at the church, did you not? Her hair can be grown back. That's not a problem. Now I truly look the part of a hideous witch. But I am to blame. It was a sin for me to find happiness in your kindness. What are you talking about? My sin was falling in love with you. Not what happened to my father, nor how we had to spend our days. There's no sin in that. We have our whole lives ahead of us, don't we? With enough time, this whole tragic mess will be behind us. Things will only get better from here. I'll be your prince. Like the one who took the girl to see the outside world. So please, give me your hand. Come to me. Don't leave me all alone. I need you by my side. Please. I extend my hand around the corner. I sense her hesitating beyond the bend. I'm begging you. I can't see what's on the other side, but a vision of her reaching out to put her hand in mine wells up in my mind. But that story never had an ending. What? She doesn't take my hand. I doubt the girl even wrote that letter. Ah. She's not there when I turn the corner. Why? How did things end up like this? Where did I go wrong, oh God?
There she is, the girl of the hour.
Your error was likely your kindness. Thoughtlessly, haphazardly spreading your generosity. But that generosity came from your own desire to avoid pain. For your own happiness. What should I have done? I can't take this. Everyone was happy. Nellie used to laugh and smile. She once meant the world to me. How did things end up like this? It's not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. If you pretend like nothing happened, then perhaps we can go on smiling in your head. But regardless, you must follow the path you tread. It is your path alone. The path you chose when, in that moment, you decided to run. Make the wrong choice in those moments, and you shall find yourself on the road to ruin. I would have been better off not knowing. Better off in the dark. I just wanted those tranquil days to last. They were supposed to last forever. At some point, your childhood must come to an end. And that ending may not be the one you anticipated. I can't stand this world. You yearned for a world that would treat you with kindness. What should I do? What should I have done? Someone, please, help me. You should return now. If you spend too long out here, you're liable to catch a cold. Now, let us return to our own time.
Oh. Oh, wow, okay. So I guess that little arc has wrapped up, huh? Let's see, complete chapter 1. That was Rose Manor, complete chapter 1. All right. So I guess we are going to have multiple chapters throughout all of this.
The crestfallen young man faded into the distance, and the decrepit double doors clacked shut. Through the shattered glass you could see only the ruins of a garden, not a single rose growing within. You had evidently returned from the past. In the garden, weeds grew taller than people. You found it difficult to look at. A wolf howled in the distance. The children, the sea of roses, and the white-haired girl were nowhere to be found. You and the maid who called you master were the only people present in the mansion.
Ah, okay, so I guess that was just my inner voice. Got it.
What happened to them next? Oh, master, you would know better than I. My, you cannot remember. It seems this is quite serious, then. Worry not. My loyalties lie with you, master. The mansion has witnessed more yet. Let us make our way to the second door.
All right, moving on. Your hand in hers, the maid guided you back through the kitchen and into the tea room. Her palms were still cold. You felt as though you were clenching ice.
Master, do you wish to know the truth no matter what may be hidden within? Or, if it is something you would be happier not knowing, would you rather remain in the dark? Oh, is that so? I wondered about their father. Yes, the flaxen-haired sibling's father. Do you think he knew about the white-haired girl? If he did, then perhaps he allowed her to stay because of how deeply he loved his wife. Or maybe because he did not want people to find out about her. I expect he too experienced many different emotions. But those pages of his story remain untold. Their parents likely had a turbulent tale as well, but theirs is not of consequence. To whom? I could not tell you.
You and the maid crossed through the entrance hall, continuing your trek. At some point, the fire in the fireplace had faded to embers, emphasizing the lack of light within the mansion. The maid took a candlestick and lit it in the cinders. The small flame illuminated her pale face. On a whim, you asked the maid about herself.
About me? I am a maid devoted to your service, master, as I have said. Oh, what was that? You're interested in my name. You flatter me. I truly do appreciate the question, but you're more than welcome to simply call me the maid. Also, it would make me much happier to hear you say my name after you've recalled who you are, Master.
A subtle smile rose from the maid's face, after which she began to lead you down a first-floor corridor. Still holding the maid's hand, you passed in front of a full-length mirror. In it reflected the warm light of the candle, which disappeared out of range shortly after.
Oh my, is something the matter? Did you come across something peculiar?
The maid had not appeared in the mirror, though she was not the only one without a reflection. You reached the end of the corridor. There appeared to be a doorway, but the door itself was long since gone, leaving only a hole in the wall to frame the stairs behind it. Without hesitation, the maid descended into the darkness.
You have more interest in this mansion, Master, than in a mere maid, do you not? Though it pains me to say as much in your presence, Master, this house is cursed. Yes, it is a curse that runs deep. As you just bore witness to, the majority of those who dwell within these walls fall into misfortune. I have served here for many years, and periods of happiness are as fleeting as a sugar cube in a cup of hot tea. Why did such tragedies befall them? If I were to guess, Master, it was because you had not returned. But when you remember your true self, the mansion's curse should be broken. The next door is before us.
It appeared to be the entrance to a cellar. The disconsolate wood door was visibly rotten in several places, and it seemed it might crumble at a single touch. You could hear the sound of something devouring meat beyond the door. Maybe there was a beast living within. Before you had a chance to say you thought it was dangerous, the maid opened the door with a chilling smile on her face. Your first impression was that it smelled of blood. Alright, I guess we're diving into chapter 2. The second door. Ugh. Let's go! 1707. I can't remember when the first door took place. I kind of forget.
The mansion sat in ruins in that era. Not a soul resided within. The grandeur of the house was lost to the ages. It was in perpetual decline. Not a flower grew in the garden. Dust and dirt blackened the plaster. Cobwebs blanketed the corridors. Ivy shrouded the outer walls. It was not a pleasant sight. As hard as I tried to fight it, I could not stop the mansion's descent into disrepair. The depth of the previous owner's grief, or perhaps despair, was far too much. After the beautiful flaxen-haired family, people stayed away from the mansion. They had no heirs, so their bloodline simply vanished into the depths of history. It had been about 50 years since the house last had a resident. The forlorn property appeared as though it had been abandoned for centuries, and the occasional villager who stumbled upon it did not remain there for more than a day. My time there was rather solitary. That was perhaps the loneliest time of my life. Everyone who visited the mansion feared it, and it was left without anyone to become its master. I even came to believe that my time serving as a maid would come to an end in this era. However, one day, I noticed something out of the ordinary. As a servant of the house, I am almost immediately aware of any new presence within its walls, and there appeared to be someone downstairs. Can you imagine just how delighted I was? Though part of me was anxious about what kind of person I might find, the possibility that it could be you had my heart to flutter. So, resisting the urge to rush, I headed for the basement. The cellar was where red wine, smoked meat, and other preserved foods were kept. By that point, the wine was practically antique. As I expected, a man had made his way into the cellar. Is anyone there? Although I am unsure if referring to him as a man is entirely accurate. Oh my, this is quite something.
What the hell?
The very first thing I sensed was an almost unbearable stench. The odor emanated from the man, heightened by the food he had carelessly rummaged through.
Blood-red liquid spilled from wine barrels, soaking the floor. His sunken eyes had a piercing, wolf-like glimmer in them. His teeth were sharp and yellowed, visible as he ripped into a chunk of meat. He grumbled in a seemingly inhuman tongue. I was looking at the beast. Or perhaps a half-beast. There was another source of odor in the room, though. It had something of a metallic tinge to it, and when I noticed this, I nearly passed out. The red liquid was not just wine as I had assumed. The beast, I presume, stole a weapon from the village. A sword far too nice for him to lay on the floor by his side. I could hardly imagine how many people's lives he had taken with that blade. It was visibly wet with blood, even in the darkness of the cellar, but at the same time, it had an imposing gleam. The fine, luscious aroma of the wine could not mask the stench of the blood and the beast. Holding my breath, I took a few moments to ponder. Ponder what? Oh, master, you know. Tell me, were you summoned here by the mansion? Did you come here knowing what kind of place it is? If you are in want of money, you are welcome to help yourself to some of the furniture. And I imagine the villagers would be willing to welcome you if you dress yourself up a bit more like a person. Then you can trade the furniture for food and make your way to a larger town. The wolf was able to fool the innocent little girl simply by putting on clothing, after all. Oh dear, I was afraid you wouldn't understand me. What am I to do? I was in quite the predicament. Nevertheless, it meant a great deal to me that I had found someone who did not fear the mansion, be they human or beast. So I decided I should give him my own assistance, while doing my best not to agitate him. Say, could you perchance be my new master? The mansion sat near the ocean. To say it was perched upon a cliff might make it sound rather intimidating, but you could see the beautifully clear sea through the windows, a glittering expanse of emerald and turquoise. If the mansion had been in proper condition, it would have been breathtaking against that backdrop. I even wanted to plant orange trees in the garden. Though it was a tumultuous era, the sun still shone bright upon the land, which only served to emphasize the house's unsightliness. Oh yes, perhaps I should give you some more background information. At that time period, a war had just drawn to a close. The once gorgeous wetlands were infested with crows picking at decaying remains. Bodies of soldiers fallen in battle continually washed up on the shores of coastal villages. The people wanted nothing more than for the curtain to draw on the deeply political contest. And when it finally did, the kingdom, with its richly fertile shores, was stripped of its independence, beginning a new era under new rule. The people were exhausted, their spirits wasted away, and the splendor of the ocean and sky did nothing to help. In my mind, the beast was emblematic of the times, emaciated and enveloped in the scent of blood. But the war came to an end. Thus the beast did not have to remain a beast, I thought. Did he?
She freaky with it, huh?
And so, I endeavored to make the beast more human-like. First, I needed to do something about his appearance. I would draw a bath, scrub away all the filth, and dress him in clothing left in the mansion. However, having sat unused for 50 years, the majority of garments had been devoured by insects and were of little use. So I searched the mansion top to bottom for anything the beast could wear, heated up some coals, and set to work ironing what I found. At the time, steam irons had not yet been invented. We used plates of iron heated with the coals. They sometimes resembled kettles. I even prepared meals for the beast, in order to teach him proper table manners. Although, with the mansion in a nearly uninhabitable state of disarray, there's only so much I could do in the kitchen. And the only supplies I had to work with were what was left in the cellar. As such, I was not able to put to use the cooking skills I had learned in the flaxen-haired family's time. Now, you mustn't eat with your hands. Do you want to get your fingers and face dirty?
You eat using a knife and fork. See, like this. I feel like I'm teaching a young child. Oh my, what are you holding your head for? Oh dear. Perhaps I should be teaching you to speak before table manners. Worry not, we have plenty of time. You needn't act so frightened. Or perhaps you do not want to be understood at all. Would you be so kind as to tell me your name? You are, for now, still a guest. It is too soon for me to call you master. Or am I mistaken? Your name. That is what people call you. How about I start by telling you my name? I am called...
Should I say Bestia or Bestia? Maybe say Bestia.
Bestia. Your name is Bestia? I see. Then that is what I shall call you, Bestia. My, you seem to be rather perplexed as to how I was still alive. He had, in fact, attempted to cause me harm. However, I am a servant of the house. The beast called himself Bestia. It was a curious thing. When I learned his name, he seemed to take on new importance in my mind. He was not a mere beast, but a thing called Bestia. Master, should I ever have the chance to hear your name, I am certain you too shall become more substantial a presence. But you must always remember, Master, that even if you do not remember your name, and even if you never know mine, you've always held a special place in my heart.
I really do want to know her name, and I want to know why, like, how she's been alive this long, why she's been alive this long, and what is her connection with this fucking manor. Because supposedly she would have been serving in the manor from, like, the beginning, but then you have this curse, and it's like, okay, well, why was the curse placed upon this manor specifically? So, you know.
And thus began my tranquil days with Bestia. Slowly he began to learn the human tongue, and I was, to be quite honest, rather thrilled. To be certain, I was afraid of the beast, but my fear was not so strong as my elation that there was someone else in the mansion, someone to whom I could speak, as someone that might become my master. Come now, you must pull weeds out of the roots or they will soon grow back. This is a task that requires perseverance. You do it like this, see? There you go.
Ass.
Oh? Did you not expect that? What appears to be many plants on the surface is actually all connected within the soil. This is a task that requires a man's strength. If there were other servants, they could do it. So I apologize for making you tend to the garden, future master. Or perhaps, now that you're all dressed up, do you wish to leave the mansion and find someone to fool, as the wolf did the sweet little girl? Have you no interest in remaining in such a disheveled house? Go on.
Not want leave.
Oh my, is that so? If you wish to stay, then I shall not stop you. On the contrary, I will gladly attend to you. I'm waiting for the person who is to become my master. Forever waiting. I should be able to watch over you until the day you depart this world, old and wrinkled. Do you not believe me? Are you interested in becoming the master of this house?
Will be.
I have to wonder if you know what you're saying. Although it matters little whether you do or not. Oh my, look at that. Now this brings back memories. This is called a rose. Do you know what a rose is? It is a type of flower.
No. Do not. No.
I see. Then allow me to teach you. What you have here is not a real rose. The real roses wilted and are sleeping in the soil. This is called an accessory. It is something women wear.
Oh, I'm guessing it's going to be that rose accessory that, Mel had gotten Nellie.
The beast held an ornamental white rose in his hands. An object someone, sometime, meant to give to someone else. Curiously, the white rose was just as stunning as it had been the day it was made, despite being buried in the earth for so many years. I hear roses make wonderful gifts. He stared intently at the decorative rose. I presumed the beast would either discard it disinterestedly or destroy it, but much to my surprise, Bestia held it gently in his hands, as though it was something precious to him. Are you perchance considering giving it to me? So you are not. Very well. Is there someone else you would like to give it to? In that moment, a thought floated through my mind. The thing I had found in a pool of blood in the cellar was a monstrous creature indeed. But perhaps that was not, at his core, what he truly was. So I asked him a question. What is it that you desire, Bestia? This mansion fulfills people's desires. If you yearn for something.
Want. Live. Peace. Look at that filthy thing! A beast! It's a beast! It's eating goddamn sand! You really are that hungry? Beast! You foul creature! Stay down back! Get any closer! Filthy beast! And I'll kill you!
Several days passed by. As Bestia began to act more like a person, the mansion followed suit, slowly becoming more habitable, though not yet back to its former glory. No flowers grew in the garden, but neither were there weeds infesting it. The dusty corridors, shattered windows, rust-covered kitchen gradually returned to their proper states. Bestia learned how to change his own clothes, and how to draw a bath. No longer did I have to wait on him hand and foot. He could take care of a number of things all by himself. What we lacked for food, he acquired from the forest. Never did he go to purchase supplies from the village. Rather, he captured hares and gathered herbs hidden in the overgrowth. They were days without incident. And though such a life may not be one for excitement, peace is something that you mustn't take for granted. Those who have it cast it aside, finding the leisurely flow of time dull. Only those who have never experienced it truly know how precious it is. Bestia appeared to be content. He wore an expression of solitary serenity.
Someone! Is anyone there?
And then one day, a crack formed in the uneventful tranquility.
Is anyone in there? Could you part with some food? I don't need much. Some food and water. Just a little, that's all I need.
Bestia looked over at me, as if seeking my aid. Ironic, no? It was the visitor who was truly in need of aid. I pondered it for a few moments, deciding that I could not simply turn away someone calling upon the mansion. Had Bestia ordered me not to let him in, I would have followed his instructions, but he said nothing.
Who's this schmuck? Oh, thank God, someone's here. I was afraid it was deserted.
You said you were in need of sustenance?
Yes. It doesn't have to be much. Anything to quench this thirst. I got lost and it's been several days.
Give me a few minutes. I will find...
Let him in.
A firm, deep voice came from behind me. I was quite startled. When had the beast learned to act so much like a human? When had he learned to speak so clearly and to behave so much like a master?
Ah.
Upon seeing Bestia, a look of terror appeared to cross the merchant's face for a moment. To my eyes, Bestia was the very image of a head of a house, but to an outsider, he probably appeared to be nothing more than a beast in man's clothing.
Prepare him a meal and a bed. I suspect he's quite tired.
Thank you very much. But in time, the fear drained from the man's face. Bestia sat precariously on the border between man and beast. Though he still had his doubts, the wanderer revised his first impression, deciding Bestia was human. As the wolf had fooled the little girl in the forest, he too has succeeded in playing the role of a man.
I thought I was a goner for a while there, but you really came to the rescue. And to me like this on top of that, you really didn't have to. Though I guess that's not an appropriate thing to say as I'm eating. What kind of meat is this? Hare. It's damn tender for a rabbit. And here I thought it was beef. You have quite the skilled chef. Oh, is she the one who cooked this? Is she your wife?
Oh no, I am merely a servant.
A female servant, ah. You don't see that very often. This mountain is just full of surprises. I can hardly believe it. Lost for days, and as soon as I think I'm dead, there it is. Thinking back on it now, it's miraculous.
By the way, why are you two living here alone in a house on a cliff?
We.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Asking so many questions without telling you about myself.
Oh wait, no, that's her. Him. Fuck. Oh, I beg your pardon. Asking so many questions without telling you about myself. My apologies. Just a little too excited to finally see other people. I am a merchant. I do international trade. Until a few years back, spice exports pretty much all came from one place. But now that we've established trade routes of our own, my country's fighting tooth and nail to push its exports. And in fact, some have lost a few teeth in the fight already. But that's just how it works. It's a cutthroat world. You do what you must to survive.
That's just how it works, the merchant said, a sorrowful look on his face. He was quite clearly putting on a show, though. Confidence in himself and his homeland radiated from that man.
I came to the salon to do business. But much to my chagrin, I somehow ended up lost in the forest. Had I wandered around for much longer, I'd have lost the chance to ever see my beloved again. Your beloved? Yes, sir. I'm constantly out on business, so we only get to see each other a few times a year. But she always waits for my return. I'd like to introduce you to her if I ever get the chance. She's a pretty girl, if not especially striking. Is that so?
The merchant was a man of many words, and I, for one, do not mind a lively supper table. Though I know not how Bestia felt, at the very least, I was glad we had invited the wanderer into the mansion. He was, after all, holding a private conversation with someone, and he seemed to be having success concealing his piercing, beast-like gaze. However... Oh, right. I stopped by the village before entering the forest, but I heard a bone-chilling tale there. As soon as the merchant brought up the subject, a palpable tension spread across the room.
They say there have been sightings of a beast. It's a creature unlike anything anyone's ever seen before. Not a wolf or a bear or anything like that. It even attacked the village once, killing several people. Thankfully, the men managed to drive it out, but the creature's still alive. There's nothing in this world scarier than a vicious beast. So you should keep an eye out. Wouldn't want to accidentally let a murderous beast into your home. At the village's insistence, I had the smithy forge me a knife. Is that knife?
Huh?
With you now? Well, yeah, I've got it on me. Only good to defend myself with, but it's better than... that knife. You brought that knife. You're here to kill me with that knife!
What?
You're going to stab me again and again with that knife, like they did last time. That's why you're here, isn't it?
What are you talking about? What's gotten into you?
Stab and stab and stab!
Calm down. What are you so worried about? I'm not going to hurt you with this. What did you just say? I like to imagine that before the wolf ate the poor little girl, he said, Is this what I always looked like?
That beast! What's your problem? What's wrong? Talk like a human. Is me. Stop! Stay back! Get any closer and I'll stab you to death! You act like you only just realized I am a beast. That's right. I'm a beast. I killed them. Stay back! And I'll do the same to you. Ah! Help!
In his hand, Bestia held his sword. Perhaps it had been hidden under the table, or maybe behind his chair. Regardless, it was as though he expected this to happen. The merchant kicked aside a chair, attempting to flee, but Bestia closed the distance in an instant, knocking him back. He lost his balance and slammed against the wall, but still he made to escape, though the beast stood blocking his path.
No, please stop this. Don't kill me. My beloved is waiting for me back home.
I can't leave her behind.
And why should I care?
A dreadful scream echoed through the dining room. I reflexively covered my ears.
Please, help! Anyone! Someone! No one's going to come for you. This mansion's a long way from town.
Help! That woman! Where did she... Why isn't she here? She was just...
You kill me if I don't kill you. And so I must show you that I will. I must show you that I am serious. I must kill you or you won't understand. You just won't understand. If I don't show you firsthand, you won't understand. I'll make you understand. I'll make your flesh and bone understand. Kill. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. Ah! Kill her. Monster. That's right. I am a beast. Zam.
They had been enjoying a peaceful meal around the table just minutes earlier. So what had triggered this? If I were to guess, the merchant saying the word knife is what caused the beast to snap. A simple, small thing set him off. I could not comprehend it. Bestia, who had said he wished for peace, was staring down at the ravaged corpse of the merchant, with the look of ecstasy on his face. Master, can you understand how he felt? Even just a little. Did he not yearn for peace, but for slaughter?
Alrighty. Well, Jesus Christ. Okay. I'm gonna take I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that this is our merchant's beloved. Oh, fuck me. Alright, well, I think this is as good as time as any to go ahead and save right there. And go back. And we're gonna go back to the entrance. Alrighty. So, we finally wrapped up the story of the white-haired girl. A story of cheating, potential incest, and fucking going batshit crazy. So that bloodline dies off. All these years later, a war breaks out, war ends, the mansion is left in ruins, and a beast comes along. And now the beast has slain an innocent merchant. And I am, again, theorizing that we're going to now see what's going on with his to-be, or his beloved, I mean. Well, certainly is changing up the story, going from a, surprisingly incestual romance plot to a beast, like fucking Beauty and the Beast / Little Red Riding Hood-esque story. So that should be very interesting to see. But I am also kind of curious because it seems like we're going to get a lot more from the black-haired maid now, which in the first chapter we really didn't get much of her. She was kind of there every now and then, but it's just going to be her and the beast supposedly. And then it also does seem to be that she's not exactly real per se. Like she doesn't seem to be like a physical being, but more so a byproduct of the mansion, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of interesting how her whole dynamic works. But yeah, that's going to be it for this time. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video and tell me in the comment section below what you'd like to see me play next. If you enjoyed this video or any other videos or series on my channel, then I highly recommend that you hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you'll be notified when one of those videos comes out. Anyways, that's it for me, and I'll see you in the next one.